My wife Monica cheated on me in our own bedroom while calling me a clueless idiot. And now Netflix wants to make a show out of it. While you're at it, hit that subscribe button to never miss out on uploads, and let's get to the story. This all started with a cheap teddy bear and my gut feeling. Monica and I had been married for 5 years. She worked in marketing. I was a warehouse shift supervisor. We weren't rich, but we had everything we needed. Or so I thought. I first suspected something was wrong when she started hiding her phone. She changed her lock screen password, stopped leaving it around the house. She claimed work was stressful, started coming home late. I gave her space, but things didn't improve. The emotional distance became impossible to ignore. I bought the teddy bear camera as a joke gift for our anniversary. I gave it to her with a note that said, "So you never sleep alone?" She laughed awkwardly, tossed it onto the bedroom shelf. I acted like it didn't matter, but I'd already connected the feed to my phone. The camera recorded sound and video with motion detection. I never actually expected it to capture anything. But the first day, I checked the footage. I saw her in bed with some guy. I didn't recognize him at first. He was tall, tattooed, young, confident, the kind of guy I knew she was drawn to. What hit harder than seeing her with him was hearing what she said about me. "He's sweet but useless," she said. "He thinks buying a teddy bear will fix our sex life. Poor guy probably thinks he's romantic." They laughed at me. In my own house, on my own bed. I should have confronted her immediately, but I didn't. Instead, I downloaded all the footage and edited it together. I put timestamps, conversations, even the part where she joked about faking a pregnancy to keep me invested. I uploaded it anonymously on Reddit, titled "My Wife's Cheating, Season 1 Pilot." I thought a few people might see it, maybe give me some support. Instead, it blew up overnight. Millions watched. Thousands commented. People were begging for more episodes. Someone on Twitter posted a clip with captions. Got 4 million views in 24 hours. Then I got the email from Netflix. They thought it was scripted. They loved it. They offered me a deal to turn it into a docuseries. They said it was raw and addictive. I was in shock. They asked for more footage. I gave them everything. They sent a crew to install better hidden cameras. They wanted confrontation scenes. Emotions. They wanted me to break the fourth wall mid-fight. Monica was still clueless. She kept cheating, kept inviting Jake, that was his name, into our house. Netflix had me mic'd up for a confrontation. I waited until dinner. Camera guys were in a van outside. I sat down across from her and said, "How was Jake today?" She froze, then laughed nervously. "Who's Jake?" I played the footage on my phone and slid it across the table. Her face went pale. Then she lost it, started screaming, threw a glass, yelled that I was invading her privacy. But it was too late. I told her I had full legal rights. I'd recorded everything in my own home, and Netflix already signed off on distribution. She moved out the next day, then tried to sue me a week later. And that's exactly where things started to get crazy. We had a Zoom call the next day. 3 producers, 1 legal rep, and some assistant taking notes. "This is gold," one of them said. "It's real, unfiltered. The world eats this stuff up." They wanted a full season, 7 episodes, plus a bonus if we filmed the aftermath. They asked for more footage. I sent everything. Clips of Jake walking around shirtless. Monica telling him she was only staying with me for the benefits. Even the part where they joked about me having no spine. Netflix signed me. $25K up front, $10K per episode. Percent of merch sales if it blew up. They sent me new gear, better cameras, a lighting setup, even gave me a media coach. He said, "Don't cry, don't yell, keep it cold, let them feel it." Monica kept cheating. More often, more bold. Jake started leaving stuff at the house. Shoes, a toothbrush, even a hoodie that wasn't mine. I labeled everything, categorized it. Each clip more humiliating than the last. I was turning my life into a reality show, but I didn't care. I wanted the truth out, even if it killed me socially. Episode 1 dropped. It got 3.6 million views in 24 hours. Netflix posted it to their main page. I started trending. Episode 2 was worse. It showed her texting him while we were at dinner. Same table. I was eating. She was sexting. He replied with pictures. I had that footage synced. Phone screen. Bear cam. Split view. Internet lost it. People called her a monster. Some praised me for how calm I was. Then came the confrontation. Episode 3. The kitchen scene. Camera in the corner. Audio from my mic. And the bear still rolling. I asked her about Jake. She played dumb. Then I showed her the footage. She went pale. Then snapped. Threw a plate. Screamed about violated privacy. I didn't flinch. I told her I had legal rights. And Netflix backed me. She stormed out. Moved into a hotel. Tried to sue me the next week. But plot twist number 1 hit. Netflix's legal team found something. An old reality show audition from 2019. She signed over her image rights. Lifetime usage. Any and all content under Netflix or partners. They had the form. her signature, her headshot. Done. She dropped the case. But not before losing her job, her friends, and most of her savings. Then she made it worse. She went on a podcast, cried, claimed I emotionally manipulated her, that I edited the footage to make her look worse. She blamed the internet for ruining her mental health. Some people bought it. She gained followers. Brands reached out. She posted about healing through truth. But then plot twist number 2 hit. We weren't legally married. I found out while doing taxes. Needed a copy of our marriage license. I couldn't find it, so I called the county office. They said no record. I checked her files. Found the envelope. Still sealed. Never mailed. She never sent it in. We had a wedding. Pictures. A guest list. A honeymoon. But no legal contract. I confronted her. Asked why. She said, because I wasn't sure you'd ever be enough. Her words. Verbatim. This gave her new legal ground. She wasn't my wife. So the branding of the show was technically misleading. She sued again. This time for fraud, defamation, and loss of potential income. Netflix paused the series, froze payments, and sent me a warning email. They weren't canceling yet, but they were reviewing options. I was stuck. She had flipped the narrative. From cheater, to victim, to activist. She gained 500K followers, got invited on panels, talked about navigating betrayal and trauma in the public eye. I couldn't post anything without being called a misogynist, a clout chaser, a narcissist. And that's when someone else tried to jump in. A former coworker of mine named Darren. He messaged me, said he had a clip, said Monica once tried to seduce him. A year before Jake, claimed he rejected her, and that she threatened to ruin him. He still had the voicemail. Netflix bought it. Used it for episode 5. This shifted everything again. People reevaluated the show, saw her patterns, started calling her a manipulator again. Her sponsors pulled back. Her platform shrank. She went private. I got an email from Netflix again. They said, Season 2 greenlit. You're getting back pay. But I didn't celebrate. I was still alone. Still humiliated. Still the guy who watched his life collapse through a teddy bear's eye. And the worst was still coming. After the lawsuit failed, Monica went quiet. No more threats. No calls. No texts. She disappeared for a while. Deleted her social media. Stopped showing up at her gym. Even Jake vanished. I thought it was over. Then a TikTok went viral. A clip of Monica crying in a podcast, telling a room of hosts that she was exploited, that I had ruined her life, that Netflix ambushed her privacy. She said she was getting death threats, claimed I was abusive, manipulative, controlling. None of it was true, but the internet eats up drama. People started turning on me. One clip got 12 million views. A popular creator said, maybe he's not the victim. Maybe he set the whole thing up to go viral. Reddit threads popped up. Some people said I was smart. Others said I was a sociopath. Netflix told me not to respond. They said controversy brings views. They weren't wrong. The show's numbers doubled. We got approved for a second season. They wanted the aftermath. My healing. My dating life. My parents. Everything. But then plot twist number 2 hit. We weren't actually married. I found out while refinancing the house. Clerk asked for our marriage certificate. I gave her the copy we'd had since our wedding. She scanned it, frowned, then said this isn't in the system. I thought it was a mistake. But no, Monica never filed it. Intentionally. I checked the envelope in our files. Still sealed. Never mailed. We'd had a ceremony. Rings. Vows. Pictures. Guests. But legally, nothing. I brought it to Netflix. They were shocked. This changed everything. Monica's new lawyer used it immediately. Said the show was based on false representation. That she was framed as a wife when she never was. Accused Netflix and me of manufacturing her as a villain for profit. This time, she had a case. Netflix panicked. They pulled episodes. Issued statements. Paused all payments. My inbox went dead. Sponsorships backed out. Merch deals vanished. Monica flipped the narrative again. She went on a second podcast. Told the story of how I tricked her into a fake marriage. How I monetized her trauma. She cried again. The clip made the front page of Twitter. This time, people believed her. I started getting hate mail. One guy sent me a dead rat in a box. Another tried to dox my address. Call my job pretending to be a reporter. Netflix settled with Monica quietly. Undisclosed amount. Rumors said 7 figures. They offer me nothing. Just told me the brand took a hit. I lost everything. Again, my face was still known. But now it was infamous. No one wanted to work with the teddy bear guy. I tried to go back to work. My boss asked me to resign. Said customers recognized me, and it made things uncomfortable. I started getting paranoid. I deleted all my apps. Changed my number. Moved in with my cousin. I didn't regret recording her. But I regretted sharing it. I'd exposed her. But I'd exposed myself too. They say revenge feels good. But they don't tell you about the fallout. I moved to another state. Changed my number again. New job. New address. Nothing traceable. I stopped using my real name online, closed every social media account, wiped all traces of the show from my own devices. But I couldn't wipe my face from the internet. Reaction videos, meme pages, compilations. I was still the teddy bear guy, now rebranded as the manipulative ex who monetized his partner's mental breakdown. Monica leaned into the victim role. Hard. She gave more interviews, told new versions of the story. In one podcast, she claimed the footage was deep-faked. In another, she said I forced her to cheat by neglecting her emotionally. Some influencers repeated her story, even verified ones. Netflix didn't defend me. They just issued a vague PR statement, then pushed a new dating show to trend. I got approached at a gas station by a stranger. "You're that Netflix guy, right? The one who ruined his wife's life." I didn't answer, just left, drove without direction, ended up 3 states away, slept in a car. I started a factory job under a fake name. Cash only. The manager didn't ask questions. I didn't give answers. People around me were nice. Offered lunch. Asked about my past. I always lied. Said I used to sell cars. Said I hated the city. Said my wife left me for someone richer. None of them recognized me. Until one day, a coworker walked in playing a clip from the show on his phone. "This was wild," he said. I froze. Waited for him to connect the dots. He never did. Even my parents cut contact. My mom said I could have handled it privately. My dad just said I was selfish. They took Monica's side. Publicly. Posted about her strength. Said I should leave her alone. A cousin DM'd me. Said Monica was speaking at some event in LA, talking about surviving internet harassment. That she was writing a memoir. I found the promo. A book titled Love, Lies, and a Teddy Bear. Her face on the cover. Smiling. Like nothing ever happened. That's when the journalist reached out. He wanted to share the other side. I ignored him. For weeks. Until he sent me proof. Screenshots. Private Facebook posts. Group chats. A Google Drive. Monica. Jake. Her ex-husband. And a few others. Planned everything. The cheating. The bear. The camera angles. Even the crying scenes. All staged. Scripted. Timed. Jake wasn't her boyfriend. He was an event actor. Real name, Tyler. She paid him $2,000 upfront. Promised exposure. Even gave him a script. Scene by scene. The ex-husband funded the gear. Hired someone to edit clips. Handled the initial uploads to seed interest. I was the only one not in on it. They planned for me to find the footage. Planned for me to post it. Then flip the narrative. Portray themselves as the targets of a controlling narcissist. I wasn't just betrayed. I was used. I called the journalist. Told him everything. Sent old footage. Bank records. The USB I kept with timestamps. Even a video of Monica laughing while rehearsing a line she'd later cry through on camera. He dropped the article. Called it the teddy bear lie. It hit 2 million views in 24 hours. Netflix trended again, but not for the reason they wanted. Monica's sponsors ghosted her. Her podcast host removed all episodes. Jake/Tyler made a TikTok apology. Said he didn't know it would go that far. That Monica misled him too. The ex-husband filed for bankruptcy. Then vanished. Deleted every account. Monica tried to push back. Claimed the article was fake. Threatened to sue. But never filed. Netflix offered me a settlement. Mid-7 figures. With an NDA. They asked me not to sue. I took the money. Signed the papers. Never looked back. I bought land. Built a small cabin. Solar panels. No internet. No mail. Just quiet. I started sleeping. For real. Not like before. No adrenaline. No anxiety. Just rest. I stopped checking my name. Stopped searching hashtags. Stopped reading Reddit threads. Sometimes people still recognize me. Rarely. When they do, I say that wasn't me. Then leave. One night, I got drunk. Opened the old files. Watched the first video again. Her voice. The laugh. He thinks the bear is romantic. I closed it. Deleted the file. Emptied the trash folder. Turned off the computer. The bear is still with me. Not on display. Locked away. No lens. Just a hollow souvenir. Every so often, I get an urge to tell the whole thing. To start a channel. Post real footage. Show what really happened. But I don't. Not because I'm scared. But because I know how this works now. People don't want the truth. They want the next twist. The next victim. The next monster. They want clips. Punchlines. Emotion. Tragedy. Redemption. They don't want recovery. They don't want silence. And that's all I want. So I live quiet. No content. No comments. No camera. Just me. And the bear. And the memory. Of how it all fell apart. And how somehow, I'm still here. Months passed. I started to believe no one would ever find me. No more cameras. No more questions. Just snow. With smoke. And silence. Then one day a letter arrived. Handwritten. No return address. I almost threw it out. But I opened it. It was from Jake. Or Tyler. Whatever his name was. He apologized. Again. Said he'd moved to Florida. Was working retail. No more acting. Said he felt like trash. Said Monica used him too. Said she promised him part of the Netflix money and never paid him. He asked me to meet. Said he wanted to make things right. Offered to testify publicly. Even make a video telling the truth. I burned the letter. A week later, a car pulled into the driveway. Rental plates. California tags. I stayed inside. Watched from the window. It was Monica. She didn't knock. Just stood there. Hands in her coat. Face pale. She looked around. Like she wasn't sure what to say. Then pulled out her phone. Filmed herself crying in front of the cabin. Captioned it. I just wanted closure. I never opened the door. I waited until she left. Then walked outside. Smashed the camera she'd placed on the porch. It had a red blinking light. Still recording. Even now, years later, people message me. Ask if the show was real. Ask if I regret it. The answer's yes. To all of it. I regret trusting her. I regret recording it. I regret uploading anything. I regret thinking the truth would fix things. But mostly, I regret that none of it mattered. Truth didn't save me. Neither did justice. Or exposure. Or revenge. They just turned me into a headline. And then forgot me. So now I live small. Quiet. No internet. No cameras. No guests. Just the cabin. The bear. And the kind of peace you only get when there's nothing left to lose.